I just filmed a 30-minute long video that I was okay with. I thought I did good. It turned out that my Bluetooth was connected to my headphones, which has a microphone, and so my microphone was in the other room. Yep. So we're doing this instead. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Alex Baum, misspelled, of course, because I am incredibly dyslexic. And today, I had other things planned, but technology decided, no, you're not going to do that. And to be honest, I do not feel like refilming what I just filmed because I thought what I just filmed was fucking good. And I'm very frustrated and salty. So instead, we're going to dive into something that I think is really, really fun. And I'm going to tell you about my Gensi. Now, my Gensi are not called Gensi because you can't publish things with the word Gensi because it's not under the free copyright whatever stuff. It's copyrighted, and so you can't publish things with the word Gensi. So they are the Ioto. But my idea for these Gensi was that there are the planes, right? Like in my mind, the planes of elements, the elemental planes is like a ring, right? And so there's the plane of fire, the plane of water, the plane of earth, the plane of air, right? Well, I know that if you are interested in the Forgotten Realms, you probably know this, but there are elements between those elements. And that is the plane of magma, the plane of mud, the plane of steam, and the plane of lightning. And so those are the ones that are in between the planes. Whenever you combine two of the elements, it makes that thing, right? And so that's why I see the elemental planes as a big circle, a circular realm around the material plane and the Shadowfell and Feywild. It's like this big circle. So I wanted to create Genasi that followed the ideas of the original Genasi, but followed the ideas of the Forgotten Realms elemental planes. So if there are fire Genasi, why aren't there magma Genasi? If there are earth Genasi, why aren't there mud Genasi? So I made the elements in between and put them in this handy dandy book that I made. And I'm going to tell you about them because I don't know, I want to. So there are two sections in the book that have to do with the Ioto. There is the flavor section that is in the actual book itself, and then there is the 5E statistics section in the back of the book. The reason why we decided to do it this way is because you could really use the Ioto in any setting that you want, and we wanted to keep it kind of setting agnostic as much as we could, but you do need something to reference numbers wise. Like you can't reference nothing numbers wise, and so we decided to make that all in the back of the book. So each one of the Ioto, which I will put up here, each one of the Ioto has their own special thing along with their own features, and comes with a race in 5E. They have all that kind of stuff. Now, I will say one of the things about the Ioto that makes them a little bit special is that I really, really, really tried hard not to pigeonhole the Ioto. I wanted them to be malleable, and I wanted them to be something that everyone could play, and everyone could play whatever they wanted. And so each one of the Ioto have a path that they follow if they follow their destiny. If they follow the thing that they were born and bred to do, then they have this sort of pathway for that. For example, the Lightning Ioto are born of artistic passion, and they are typically loud-spoken and bombastic. So you oftentimes see them being artists, see them being bards, see them in caravans, see them, traveling around. But, you can also reject that. If a Lightning Ioto rejects their artistic passion side, they may choose a path of meaningless pursuit or make sure their life would never make a good story. Still and silent is what they might become, a stark difference from the norm in the eyes of the city and nobles. So you kind of have two paths with each one of the Ioto. So that was the lightning. Magma Genasi are born of a protective passion and are typically people of deep contemplation and loyalty. However, if a magma Ioto rejects the protective passion inside, they may believe that they are an obsidian blade ready to cause destruction to those that they love most. A believer of self-fulfilling prophecy, they may run from those who get too close for fear of bringing them sorrow. So that's magma. And then mud the mud Ioto are born of empathetic passion and are typically people with soft hearts and welcoming hands. They're often healers. But where is it? However, if a mud Ioto rejects the empathetic passion inside, they may choose a path of apathy and self-serving actions to shield themselves from the pain of others or even themselves. And then smoke Ioto, born of impulsive passion, are typically people of many interests and full of life. They are scattered throughout the land without one central purpose, but with many interests both big and small. However, if a smoke Ioto rejects the impulsive passion inside, they may choose to become sharp and silent as ash, perhaps fearful of the evil that can come from fire and chaos, or perhaps out of spite, these smoke Ioto can use their intuition of change to seek out those who wish to use it to harm others. And that was kind of the dark night side of it. I was trying to make a dark night. So those are my Ioto. Each one of them has like a unique personality. Each one of them goes into like lightning Ioto oftentimes are like explorers. They're oftentimes like very inspirational. The town loves them. People see them as good luck charms. But then if you reject it, you must eradicate. There are some few who reject the passion, wish to eradicate music from this plane of existence. Music is very, very big to the lightning Genasi, or the lightning Ioto. The magma Ioto, they oftentimes are bodyguards or paladins or things like that. But if they reject it, they tend to isolate themselves, and this isolation will drive them insane. The mud Ioto, obviously, a lot of times they become healers. They become the city cleric. They become the town's like healing lady and stuff like that. And actually, in one of my campaigns, I had them go to mud Ioto's town that was in a marsh and to cure one of their wolves. They used their wolf in a fight, and I made the wolf get the poison condition. And I know that's really mean, but I made the wolf become poisoned. And so in order to get an antidote, they needed to go find the mud Ioto. And that was really, really fun. And then smoke Ioto are super like fun and interesting. They very much are changers and like movers and shakers in the world. They really just live in chaos and breathe in chaos. And then smoke Ioto that reject it end up being a dark knight, like a Batman kind of a thing. It ends up being a Batman kind of a thing, to be completely honest. It kind of ended up being Batman. As for stats, because I know you're very interested in this, I have to say that I did not come up with these. I came up with a general idea for the stats, but I left the stats a lot to my partner, Max, and he did a fantabulous job with these stats. All the stats in the book are Max's doing. And of course, for the stats, I'm just going to give you some fun highlights because I suck at reading, and honestly, it's going to be dreadful to listen to me read these kind of things. For the Ioto traits, you just have the general traits, but your Constitution score increases by 1. So that's pretty nice. Magma Ioto have blazing ancestry, fire resistance, minor eruption, and then as a variant, you can sometimes have headbutt. I'm going to read blazing ancestry to you. As a bonus action, you can call on the plane of magma your ancestors rose from to boil your blood in your veins, causing this blood that runs in your veins to nearly double in temperature. When this effect is active, your extremities, your head, hands, and feet start to glow with heat. You can end the heat immediately at any time, no action required, and you give off 10 feet of bright light and an additional 10 feet of dim light. In addition, your head, feet, and fist are now natural weapons, which you can use to make unarmed strikes. If you hit with them while your blazing ancestry is active, you deal fire damage equal to 1d6 plus your strength modifier instead of the normal bludgeoning damage for an unarmed strike. You can sustain this for 1 hour, with every activation taking at least a minute, after which you must finish a long rest. I really, really like this one. I thought it was fun, the idea of boiling stuff in your veins. And I thought that this would be so fun as a monk. Are you kidding me? Doing a monk like that? Okay, so then the Lightning Genasi, they have Traveler's Intuition, Lightning Resistance, Inner Plurality, and the Inner Plurality gives you 2 different things. You can either do Discharge or Lightning Quick Reflexes. I am going to read you Discharge. As an action, you can discharge choosing a 10-foot radius around yourself or a 30-foot line with 5 feet, with a 5-foot width, originating from yourself. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw, which is, there's the math for you. Or each creature that fails takes 2d6 lightning damage and half as much damage on a success. As you gain levels, the damage increases. At 6th level, the damage increases to 3d8. At 11th level, it decreases to 4d10. And at 16th level, it increases to 4d12. Once you use the discharge from Inner Plurality, you must finish a long rest, which is super duper fun. Max talks a lot about how Dragonborn are not very viable because of the fact that they continuously they don't scale up as you level up. They don't scale up, and so for him, this was how he would have liked to see that done, and I think it's very good. I think it's very effective. And then the Mud Eoto. The Mud Eoto have Instincts of the Matron, Cause Tremors, and Sludge Secretion, but I'm going to read you Cause Tremors. As a bonus action, you can channel your affinity to the earth and stomp the ground to cause tremors in the ground beneath your feet. Every creature on the ground within a 10-foot radius centered on yourself must make a dexterity saving throw, and then the math. Falling prone if they fail. Once you use this feature, you cannot do so again until you finish a long or short rest. I thought that this was super fun because obviously a lot of times whenever you're a melee cleric, you're up in the thick of it. And I immediately thought of a melee cleric doing this up in the thick of it and making people fall prone. And then just like with a mace, like that would be so fun. And then finally, the Smoke Eoto. They have Keen Eyes, Hazy Form, and Death Blitz. I'm going to read you Death Blitz. When you score a critical hit with a weapon attack using dexterity, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice one additional time and add it to the extra damage of a critical hit. So yeah, you get a little bit, the Smoky Eoto are a lot of chaos and a lot of like thriving and like randomness. And so that's kind of like the thriving and randomness. But yeah, this is just some of the stuff that is in this book. It's super duper fun. I'm very proud of the Eoto. I'm very proud of the lore created around the Eoto. I feel like the way that I wrote them was ambiguous enough to where you could plug and play it into any campaign, but also enough to where it still inspires you and it might make you say, maybe playing an anti-hero is what I want to do. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you want to buy this book, if you want to check out this book, check out the Eoto or anything else in it, check out the doobly-doo down below. I do link it. I do get profit from it, so I'm really, really excited for you to check out my book. And I'm making another book in 2026 about sentient magic items. I'm very, very excited for that, and I hope you will check that out too. Other than that, thank you so much for hanging out. You are always welcome at my table. If you have any thoughts on the EOTO, let me know, and I will see you in the next video.